I got my balls to my butthole, yeah. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole.
That's what all Vikings fans.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
He's going to beat them. They're not going to be able to score.
Shame on you. Good God, I pulled too hard. Now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Oh God, I grew my balls to my butthole, baby.
God, you know, you're talking about a guy.
Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole.
Right. And I think that's really important.
Out like a fucking yard.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of Bushy Tails Sports, presented by SAP Sports and another sponsor of ours, Y'all's Bagels. Guys, I want to thank all of you, every single one of our subscribers. I know you guys wanted more content. Well, here, me and Jesse are. Brand new episode just coming out today. It'll be uploaded tonight. I want all you guys to get this information, get it quick, and get it now. Get your fantasy teams ready, baby, because here it comes. I'm already in 3 and counting. I've drafted 2 already. Jesse calls me crazy, but that's okay. That's why I'm squirrel. It's just how it goes. Get used to it. This is my show. He's my co-host. He's my man. If he says something, deal with it. Okay? He says Green Bay and the Jets are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. I call him an absolute nutcase. And I'm squirrel. I'm squirrel. He's a nutcase. Okay, NBC Sports, whoever they were, who came out with this view that I'm staring at, disgustingness at the bottom of my screen here. But we're going to dissect it, break it down, and beat you to it. Jesse the Body, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you? I'm ready to go, ready to get into these little debates here.
Yeah,
talk about this USA Today little thing that they came out with, stating that it's going to be a Packers Jets Super Bowl with the Jets coming out on top in the Super Bowl.
I'm staring at your section of our studio here, and the Green Bay lore of Brett Favre's jersey sits here, hangs in my mind. The thought of the fairy tale that Aaron Rodgers, not being able to win a Super Bowl the last however many years in Green Bay, is going to get it done his second year in New York by beating the team that he couldn't get it done with and his beloved Green Bay Packers. Well, I tell you what, they do know how to write a story. They do know how to get you on a headline to write a freaking story, boy. I want to know the man who was paid. I just want to know who he is. I want to know his name, know his worth. I want to know what he got paid to put this out, because there's no way in hell you could have paid me $100 million. I'll tell you what, you could have. Yeah, absolutely.
I could have paid you $100,000 and you would have said
I'd have wrote whoever the hell you wanted me to write down.
I've seen you do worse for 20, let alone 100.
Hey, 20's a 20 now. Let's talk.
Hey, with inflation, though, it's 100's 100. Remember that.
You ain't lying. Anyway, guys, behind me, you see my first draft of the year. We will break that down here in a little bit. I'll let Jesse beat my lineup to hell, which he always does. But that's cool. That's fine. I'll give you my second lineup of the year. Maybe you guys follow. Maybe you guys don't. I kind of break down how I went around some of these picks. I know Jesse loves hearing that. So, dude, first off, man, I want to get this screen out of my face, dude. I don't even think, for one, okay, I will give the inkling of a chance, a way higher chance that Green Bay makes it to the big game other than New York. I don't think New York's getting out of their division. We'll start there. First off, you got to beat Tyreek Hill, Tua, in Miami. Okay, Raheem Mostert, Devon A. Chain. I can keep on going. Jalen Waddle with the most electric offense on the planet. Okay. 2, yes, you have a great defense. Jets have a very good defense. I will say that. One of the top defenses in the country. But we have no idea what that offense is going to look like or what it looks like right now. Who's running it? I mean, is the coach running or is Aaron Rodgers running it? I mean, me and you both know how it kind of goes in the NFL with somebody like Aaron Rodgers. He says, I want to run these certain kind of plays. Coach goes, all right, fine. Other quarterbacks in the league, like you could look at even like Joe Burrow. He says, hey, I want to run some of these plays. Coach is like, well, just give it a minute. Hang on, sport. There's a certain pedigree to where certain players and certain quarterbacks against certain coaches are running certain offenses. I think Aaron Rodgers has more say in this offense than a lot of people think. Robert Saleh, I know, trusts the hell out of Aaron Rodgers. Does this offense strike me as a electric offense? Absolutely not. Garrett Wilson, okay, all right. We've seen what he can do. With who was it last year? It was not Sam Darnold. Help me out. Come on, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
And we'll talk about Sam Darnold here in a little bit. As he looks to take the starting job in Minnesota. I think that the Jets offense could be electrifying. It could feel out with Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. Aaron Rodgers now being healthy, so supposedly. What could it look like? Could it be electrifying? Could be. Could it be a dud in the water? Also could be. We don't know. We've only seen 2 snaps with the man. We have no idea. Do I think the Super Bowl is where, in my thought process and mine, had them? Not a chance. That's still, I believe, a few years away for the organization, not just Aaron Rodgers, but the organization in a full. That you to get to the Super Bowl, your division, you have to be the best team in your division for one. Okay, they're not. They're just not. They're not better than Miami, and I haven't seen too much to tell me they're better than Buffalo either. So, they're sitting probably third. Okay, that's not going to do it. Okay, maybe wild card, maybe the craziest chances of you getting into wild card at the third spot in the AFC South or AFC East, excuse me. What? Is that the shot that you think you have to get to the Super Bowl, is to scratch in the wild card game? Come on. Where's the thought?
Well, the thought is, if I told you right now that 5 times last year, if they would have scored at least 17 points, they would be like, what, 12? They would have 12 wins?
No.
12 wins would have won your division last year.
I don't think 17 points would win you 12 games, though.
But they last year
21. Now 21 points.
Last year they had a loss 13-6. They had a loss 13-8. They had a loss 16-12.
Tough.
They had a loss 15-10. They had a loss 20-16.
Okay.
You're there.
I see your point. Yeah, I see it. Yep.
5 games there. And that now you're a 12-13 win team potentially.
Okay.
I think if Aaron Rodgers just plays mediocre, not even MVP level, just plays what he did his last season in Green Bay, which they went 8-9, didn't make the playoffs, and he didn't look that good. But as Aaron Rodgers always says, a 23 touchdown, 4 interception year is a down year for me and a good year for most. So with that being,
that's still a good year for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what he's
with saying that type of stuff, I think that Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to, if he stays healthy, is going to be able to compete at a pretty decently high level. I think Breece Hall is going to be, for fantasy managers, I would go after him hard. I think he's going to be the breakout star this year, maybe even offensive player of the year award caliber type of season that he's going to have. You have Mike Williams out there now, opposite of Garrett Wilson.
That was the other wide receiver I was thinking about.
I think that Allen Lazard is going to have a lot to prove. They haven't taken him off of the depth chart yet and tried to trade him or do anything like that. So I think that he's going to come into his own this year. They revamped that offensive line. That defense is a monster. I think that if you don't put a team in compromising positions, the games that you saw them last year that they lost, let 37 points scored on them, was those games that they got put in bad negative territory. Your offense throws a interception on your own 15, well, now they have 15 yards to go. It's almost impossible to stop teams. So I think that that's going to be, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over and has just one of those mediocre 27-4 type of seasons, 27-5, that's going to be good enough to get them over the hump, because they're going to lean on that run game a lot. And I think that's going to take away a lot of pressure for Aaron Rodgers. The only part in this recipe here for the next year success, because there's only 2 years with Aaron Rodgers, it's win now, win next year. The only piece in this recipe that I don't quite understand yet, and I don't quite get, is Robert Saleh. Let's see what he's going to do with this team when it runs good. Now, Green Bay, on the other hand, Green Bay is poised again to have the youngest offense in the NFL, the youngest team in the NFL by a wide margin.
Could be bad in the playoffs because of experience.
It could be, but they already have 2 playoff games under their belt already for experience. Right. They dismantled the Dallas Cowboys. They were we missed an extra point and a field goal. Our kicking problems. It bit us in the ass. If you don't miss that extra point and you make that 30-yard field goal like you should have, they win that game. They're going to the NFC Championship game to a team in Detroit that they just dismantled a couple weeks prior. They probably win that game. And then you're going to go play the Chiefs, which you just dismantled, and the only team in the NFL last year to score more than 21 points on the Kansas City Chiefs, and the only team to have a quarterback with a passer rating of 99 or better.
Yeah.
That's the Green Bay Packers. So that's what could have been last year. But we don't talk about hypotheticals here, because hypotheticals don't get you nowhere. What gets you nowhere is wins, win your division, get that number 1 seed, make people come through Lambeau. And I really do think that Green Bay with this year, Jordan Love is going to ball out. I think Josh Jacobs is going to reset the market for running backs and what they should do again. Get somewhere that you need to get to. As in, what I'm saying is, in 2022, dude had like 1,600 yards. What do you have? Like 11 touchdowns. The best running back to do it in a long time. And then last year, they're knocking him because he had 800 yards. We only played 13 games. So if we break that down and add it up, it comes out to like 1,300 yards. So I think with that being said, this team is going to be very good. Don't be surprised if you don't see them come out and go 5, 6, maybe 7 games in a row.
I just don't see it. I see the team. I see the greatness. I can see all the players.
Okay, here's a good question.
I don't see the electrifyingness that you're gonna like. You're still gonna have to beat Detroit, and your offense is not as good as Detroit's. I mean, your offense is getting there.
It's electrifying. The number 1 scoring offense over the past 11 weeks of the season.
Yeah, okay, I got that.
When do you want your team to play? You don't want to do what Philly did and be the shittiest team the last 11 weeks, still get in the playoffs and lose the first round to Tampa Bay Bucks. Come on now.
Well, we understand what happened there. They were on such a big downfall. They won, like you said, they lost their last 11 games. But you guys didn't win your last 11 games. You only won, say, 8 of those? 7 or 8 of them? So, I mean, you had
9. We only lost 2.
Okay, so you went 9-2. Okay, so that means, and what did you finish? You finished 11-8, 11-6.
Well, no, we went 9-8
total. 9-8 total.
Total to get in the playoffs, and then we won. We won the 1 playoff game. So
it's just, and I guess the beginning of the season, they were young. They had to get used to each other. They had to figure things out. They started very, very, very slow. It just sucks because you needed those first 6 games to really push you over the hump, where you didn't have to fight so hard to get to the position to be even. I mean, where you got to was way better than what a lot of people, I believe, would even imagine you were going to get to, starting the way you did last year and dismantling Dallas like you did. and then taking a brutal loss to San Francisco, which, it's.
So I got a question for you. Did they rely on Jared Goff to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the whatchamacallit, the Rams? No, they didn't.
No,
They relied on that running game. Jared Goff had two good, I would say, elite throws in that game. It was the last throw to St. Brown. It was like 3rd and 7. They had to pick up the first down to win the game. Good.
Correct.
Did they lean on him in that NFC Championship game against San Francisco? Yeah, they did. And what happened? They lost because they stopped running the ball in the second half when they had a lead.
That's why they lost. They stopped.
And
they stopped running the football.
So okay. So and then Green Bay's game against Dallas, what did they do? They relied on Dak Prescott. What did he do? Throws 2 interceptions. Could have been 3. Actually, was 3 interceptions. Could have been 4. So right there, we're talking about quarterbacks, and what you lean on is your quarterback, and who do you trust? Well, I'll tell you this much. I trust Jordan Love over Dak Prescott. I trust Jordan Love over Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Jordan Love. I trust Jordan Love over Matthew Stafford just because of an age thing, which I think everybody would agree on. So who's in the NFC are we going to pick to trust over the guy? Brock Purdy? I think the card's still out on Brock Purdy. I love Brock Purdy. I've said it. I don't believe in this system thing, but also too, and we'll get into something else about quarterback contracts after this that I might want to talk to you a little bit and pick your brain on something. So, you could throw the system out. So what quarterback are you going to pick over him?
In a sense where I would have to pick a quarterback talent-wise or skillfulness over him, that's more or less difficult than picking, a team that could outplay you in a certain scenario that you need. Just like your defense falters every now and again. People's defense goes. That's been Green Bay's Achilles heel for the last few years. You guys can get there, and your offense will catch up at the end of the year. They do. They start doing great, and then your defense just falters. Like if your defense was any worse in that Dallas game, they would have caught you. You know what I mean? They would have caught back up to you. I mean, no. That third quarter, they scored like 24 points. They
didn't. Not in the third quarter. It was 6 minutes left.
There was at a point in time, it was like 40. It was like
42 to 16. It was 42 to 16.
Then it was like 42 to 35. Like quickly,
well, because they took and put all their third stringers in.
I get it. I'm just saying. I think there's a lot more scenarios like that where teams like yourself, Green Bay, and other teams falter in that sense where their defense does let them down. Yes, is Jordan Love an amazing quarterback? And if you get him on the field, he can give you the opportunity to continue and win a football game. But then your defense has got to get back out there. And then you're like, sometimes.
And you look, you said defense perfect. I mean, you look at when the Rams won it a few years back with Matthew Stafford. That was because of the defense.
Defense and Aaron Donald. Yep.
Yeah, the year after when Kansas City beat San Francisco, that was because their defense. They held San Francisco to 3 points.
What was the big defensive team that won? Tampa Bay, when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tampa.
Not Tom Brady's Tampa Bay. I'm talking about Chucky's Tampa Bay.
Chucky, yes.
When they beat the Raiders and Rich Gannon.
Same thing with the Denver Broncos. Same thing with the Seattle Seahawks. Yep. It's these defenses
that game was crazy. It was a 42 to 6. That game was nuts, dude.
A lot of the Patriots. A lot of Patriots. A lot
of Tom Brady. A lot of Tom Brady's wins are not taking anything away from what Tom Brady did. And Tom Brady, any scenario in the world, that man's gonna push towards a win.
So we'll get out of this conversation because I got another question to ask you here in a minute.
Okay.
So with us getting out of here, are you taking the field or one of these teams to make it to the Super Bowl?
Like on both sides?
No, just one of them. Either one.
I'll take the field.
Take the field? Okay. Are you taking the field or either one of these to reach the AFC or NFC championship games?
Green Bay can get to the NFC championship game. I can, but To
So
get there,
what you think?
to get there, I think Green Bay can get to the NFC Championship game. The AFC side, I'm taking the field definitely. The Jets aren't making it to the AFC title game. Like I said, they're not going to get out of their division. Green Bay has the opportunity and the talent and the chances to be able to get out of at least wild card and get. We've seen it. We don't know what the Jets are going to do or bring. Maybe week 9 or week 10 when we see the Jets have been balling, we're like, all right, well, maybe they could make the goddamn Super Bowl. But right now, I've seen enough where Green Bay could get to the NFC Championship game. We just need Jordan Love and that defense to hold it together to push them just over that hump. I really think they could have absolutely beat San Francisco. It didn't happen.
And I think schedule wise of Green Bay is, and the other teams in their division, like Detroit, man, you're talking they got to play the Rams.
Yep.
They got to play a Seattle
Scheduling
team.
plays a big part.
Yeah, a Seattle team we don't know what's going to be, an Arizona team that if whatever, but then they get Dallas. They got to play Green Bay twice, obviously. They play Houston. They play Indy. They play Buffalo. They play San Francisco. I mean, I just said 5 games right there that could potentially be losses,
Yeah.
So that's what we're at. You're at the field besides Green Bay making the NFC Championship game, which I respect that.
And I'll take the field over the AFC.
I want to talk about quarterback contracts real quick and something that I heard today and get your little take on it. So everybody knows that Jordan Love's hold in. They're working on it. I think the reason what people didn't realize is a lot of these quarterbacks, they have clauses in little tiny literature that are hidden in these contracts to say, if you don't pick up my option, I'm not practicing until you do, or until a new if we're in a negotiation, I'm not practicing until the negotiation's done. That's not a Jordan Love thing. That's these managers and these talent agents who put that in there to protect their assets. Assets. Didn't speak here all week. Don't forget to try them. Yeah, gotcha. All right, so you haven't heard anything about Tua's contract, not even talks, works, anything.
No.
Do you think coaches that are coming from a Shanahan tree, not Kyle, his dad.
Yeah, Mike.
Coming from that Shanahan tree where you get, let me put these examples out there. You get San Francisco, who goes to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G, made Jimmy G look good. What has Jimmy G done since then? Nothing. Then goes and drops him and gets Brock Purdy and goes to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, which people still don't know if he's elite or not, despite the numbers, despite what he's done. All right, let's go to Sean McVay in Los Angeles. He goes from Jared Goff, got you to a Super Bowl, led you to a Super Bowl, went to a Super Bowl. And then you let go of him, and then you went to Matthew Stafford, which a lot of people were washed up and everything, and you went to a Super Bowl with him. You look at these teams, then let's go to Green Bay. You go and you take Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur. You take Aaron Rodgers to consecutive 13-win seasons, consecutive NFC Championship games. And then guess what? You bail on him, and then you go to Jordan Love, and look at what you've done with Jordan Love. Jordan Love looks like a superstar. So do you think these general managers get in their mind, well, I could make in a Mike Daniels type of offense with these weapons around here, anybody look like a Tua?
Your point is great. I think that the thought of coaches being able to maybe swing quarterbacks around to fit systems that they need to win. I just think some of the scenarios that have happened, like you mentioned, just kind of, it's not that they kind of manufactured, but the Shanahan family is absolutely amazing at turning quarterbacks around. Not just turning them around, bringing the best out of them and winning. And I think that could be offense, how they run offense, how they manufacture the plays that they have. To your question, no, you can't just make people like Tua. You can't just put the greatest pieces around. You could put Randy Moss. You could put Marvin Harrison Sr. You could put Isaac Bruce. You could put some of the greatest wide receivers on the planet around. Gosh, give me some turd. Sam Darnold, and he still is going to be Sam Darnold. Yeah, is he going to complete some passes? Sure. But the decision making and the consistency of what the quarterback position requires.
But you said, yeah, go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
I just don't think it's there until sometime you get a coach that gets on you all the time that says, yo, hey, quicker, come on, quicker. He's right there, quicker. You know, yeah, you can build a Sam Darnold into a decent quarterback, but can you get someone? The talent just is there. It's there in college. It's there in high school. We see it. It's building up. Me and you do broadcasts. We see these kids. You could see him. He's good. He's going to be good. He's going to be great. You can see it. When you get to the NFL, I think a lot of these guys are great. There's a lot of Tuas out there. I mean, not left-handers, but there's a lot of Tuas. I think there's a few Jordan Loves. They just haven't been found. They just haven't been given opportunities. Yeah, is Jordan Love one of a kind? Is Aaron Rodgers one of a kind? Yeah. But Aaron had to sit for 5 years. Jordan had to sit for what? 3?
3. My man's just called Jordan Love one of a kind. I like that.
You got to look at the talent. He's there. He's got it.
Yeah.
But if Green Bay doesn't give him the pieces just like Aaron Rodgers, he's only going to get maybe 1 Super Bowl. And then look, in another 10 years, they're going to be like, well, we're going to have to get somebody new because he's just not getting it done. No, Gutekunst and all the other guys, they're not getting it done. Aaron could only do what he could do with what he had. We said it 100 times. Jordan Love's going to do the best of what he can with what he has. If you
Jordan Love threw for way more yards, way more touchdowns, and less interceptions
in his first.
No. Than Aaron Rodgers did with the same exact team the year before that.
So
the same exact team.
He's going to do the best he can with what he has. And it just seems that Love's doing better with what he has than Aaron did. I just think Aaron wanted out. I just think that last season, Aaron didn't give a shit.
Well,
he's like, these fucking rookies. I'm not out here winning. He's just like, he didn't care about winning the last year with Green Bay, I don't believe, because he knew he was getting out. He knew. They know. These guys know.
Oh, yeah.
Way ahead of time. He's like, dude, I've been talking to the Jets, man. I'm out of here, dude. Fuck this. My life.
Oh, well, I'm sure Green Bay was telling him, we're moving on with Jordan Love.
We're moving on. He goes, all right, well, I'm not fucking helping him either. Because he didn't help him. He was not a big help from what I heard. He did not help the kid a lot. He didn't care about him. But Jordan watched and Jordan listened. And I tell you what, he's no stupid guy either. That fucking guy's from Stanford. Graduated from Stanford. Okay? He's got a Stanford education. Utah State, I believe, is where he transferred to. A lot of people don't understand that. He graduated from Utah State into the NFL, but he went to Stanford like his freshman year, I believe.
Yeah.
And came
he's
over
not dumb.
in the transfer portal. No, he's not dumb at all. Everybody knows this transfer portal, man. If people go here and then go there, and what's his name? DJ Ungalele has been played for 4 colleges in 4 years.
Already, I know. Where's he at now?
No. He made a full circle. He came back around to Clemson.
Did he?
Or FSU or something. He came all the way back around to the ACC. Come on, man. Just play football. If you ain't that good, you ain't that good, bro. Just go ice skating or something. But to your question, I think you can throw a lot of quarterbacks in a scenario with great wide receivers and they turn out to be great. But that doesn't mean the quarterback's great. That means your team's good. Your team can work real well. When you get someone like Jordan Love, you can throw a bunch of rookies out there and he's still going to get it done like he's done. You see what I mean? So you get a CJ Stroud, bunch of young guys around them, bro. They're all high-flying animals. Now, think about this. You get a young guy with one big stud. Say say CJ Stroud would have ended up with Justin Jefferson. Let's just say, okay? How explosive do you think those two would be? Not much,
Yeah.
because that offense is not very explosive. They were explosive. The only time Minnesota and Justin Jefferson have been explosive is when Kirk Cousins was throwing the ball around and flinging it, because Kirk Cousins was in that offensive scheme for 10 damn years. He knew the system. Jordan Love's still working on his system right now in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, that's a brand new system in New York, bro. That shit ain't gonna work, and we know it. Aaron, because you know what? Aaron's gonna want to pop out, do his little throw it really quick. These guys aren't. No. And I'll tell you what, he's gonna get hit 2 or 3 times, and he's gonna get mangled. I mean, the guy's 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's gonna get murdered, bro. Just like last year. Second play, bang, done. And then what? He's got to retire after that. He's got to hang it up.
Yeah, definitely make or break year for him in a sense, you know.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a lot of pressure right now on Jordan Love to get it done. You know, that's why he's holding out. He's holding. He's like, whatever. It is what it is, dude. You don't sign me, you don't sign me. You know, he knows he's going to be signed. He's not worried about it.
I'm
But
sure
he doesn't want to wreck an ankle. He doesn't want to wreck something, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure the contracts, it's already there in front of him. It's probably been signed, but you know, there's things that take a little bit of time.
He's got to get a
have to get in, the
physical. He's got all
lawyer,
that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
You know, so
there's legalities to it all.
yeah.
So I want to kind of dive over. We've been running about the NFL, Jordan Love, and this ding dong in number 8. I kind of want to run over, talk about some fantasy football. Like me and you are absolute fantasy monsters. I have drafted 2 teams already. We can break one down. You can beat me over the head, see what it is. I will. Whoa.
Oh, it's all.
Whoa. Man, he's going to do it to us. There is the.
Is it backwards though, ain't it? Oh, no, it ain't.
No. It doesn't matter. There is the final standings for Jesse's Big Man Monster League that we play. I think I ended up in like, I don't know, 5th or 6th or whatever, something. Kind of gave up on the playoffs after I had, I don't know, 100 injuries.
Oh, Mark's super down for the big money. Now this man plays second place. He's like, I'm in.
Yeah, he said, second place.
Mark
actually had a great comeback through at the end of the year there. 4 or 5 big strings of wins. You, I think, came back on the one you were losing and beat the guy. I lost first round of the playoffs, and then I didn't care wherever. In Jesse's league, I don't know if a lot of people don't know, where you finish the last year is where you draft the year after that. So Mr. Daly will be drafting last. So I guess I said that backwards. The last place person gets to draft first next year. So on and so forth. I am 6th, so I'm like right in the middle anyway.
No. Remember, this year we're gonna do the consolation bracket. Whoever won the consolation bracket drafts first. Last place is second, and then so on and so forth.
So yeah, I wasn't in the consolation bracket. I was in the playoff bracket, so it doesn't matter. I've drafted in the middle of the draft, which is perfectly fine for me. I want to break down my first draft of the year. It is in the Houston Pro League. If you guys go on ESPN, I'll show you exactly how me and Jesse do it. Go to ESPN Fantasy. You go in and you type in local or go in and find join a league. You can find type in the parameters that you want. It'll hook you up with a league. I was able to get the Green Bay Pro League again there too. So it's just a bunch of different little areas and stuff. Anyway, I want to break down here, Jesse. I want you to, tell me what you think on this Houston Pro League that I have. Pop it up right here. So if I break it down to, I want to go to the draft recap. Okay. I was drafting 9th in this 10-team league. I was drafting 9th, as you say. I believe it's one of the better positions. Everybody in the world, I got to draft 8th or 9th. So what? It's pretty much drafting like 3rd, really. with the swap at the end and the snake draft. If anybody knows what snake drafting is, okay, cool. We're past that. Good. So Jesse, as going ninth, I knew I had one pick and then me again as playing the double. And I told you earlier in the year, this year, that I was going to do this double on my very first draft to see how it went. And I believe I did pretty good. Not really. I don't think I did that great. But it is what it is. It's how it fell, and that's how it's always going to fall.
How was it? Yes, no.
Okay, here we go. My first round, number 9, Lamar Jackson. I went early and often, as I say. It's not too bad. Okay, early and often. A lot of players went. Lamar Jackson is 3rd in the entire league last year in fantasy points scored. Okay, I draft a little different than everyone. There's going to be a lot of drafts that I don't draft quarterback first. I told Jesse I was going to do this to see how it went. And I just wanted to see how it goes. So thoughts on Lamar Jackson going at number 9, round 1?
A 2 quarterback league, I would really love it. A lot.
Just one quarterback.
I think, it figures 1 quarterback league. I think a lot of people get wrapped up in the thing that like, oh, they got to have a running back or a wide receiver with their first pick. You just stated a fact. It's not fiction. It's a fact that he was 3rd in most points in fantasy last year. So you got the 3rd best player from last year at the 9 position.
If I could draft 6 quarterbacks, I would. If I could draft 6 quarterbacks, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, you win. You win to me. Right. And guess what? The quarterback touches the ball every single fucking play on offense. So it's all generated through him, and I like it. I think that you probably could have got him in the 2nd round late or in the 3rd round with your pick. I think you probably could have got him, especially in a 1 quarterback league, but I like it.
Okay, so I'm
Derrick Henry next.
I'm gonna read to you the first round that went. CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, JT, Lamar, and AJ Brown. That was the first round of this first draft of the year for me. Second round is a snake, and yes, you guessed it. I went with the workhorse of the new Baltimore offense in King Henry. I love the duo. I told you as soon as I watched that trade happen, I was like, dude, this is going to be amazing in fantasy. These two together. There's going to be 2 touchdowns, one for him and one for Derek every week, bro. He's going to have 16, 17 touchdowns. Because they get to the line all the time, and they just haven't had a animal in a while, and they got an animal. They got an animal, dude. And that guy is just like Gus Edwards is great. I love Gus Edwards. I picked him on a few teams already. But number one
rushing offense over the past couple of years, Todd.
And now you got the best running back in the league. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I think he's more on the decline than he is the plateau.
He is the only cowbell left in the league, I would say.
Well, and with that offense, they're going to try to make it. I mean, you see a lot of teams now switching to 2-back type style offenses and
more options.
I think that with that being, it is the number 1 rushing team in the league. A lot of that comes from Lamar. If you can get them, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I think Derrick Henry, as we've talked about it, a little bit of a dark horse this year. I think he's going to be a little bit more rejuvenated. I mean, the guy still gets all the attempts last year. He still rushed for a bunch of yards last year, but it was just on a shit team. And I think when you're on that team, arguably the best offensive line in the league next to the Lions, I like it. I like it. I think though, and just for a little insight for somebody, if you're in that like 3, 4, 5 pick range, pick yourself one of those McCaffreys, maybe Jeffersons or something that's going to be out there that you like, that is almost a given. And then I think you could get these guys in a sense, like if you did have the 4th. So then in the next round, you're going to have the 8th pick in that round. I think that's somewhere that you could probably land the Derrick Henry. And then in your next pick, you could land the Lamar. And so there's a little insight for you guys.
So coming down the board, round 3, I was at the back end once again, waiting for my turn. And a lot of wide receivers kept going off the board like very quickly. And there is a deep pocket of wide receivers in this fantasy draft. A lot of running backs went first. I know a lot of people put so much emphasis on running backs, but the wide receiver position did start taking off. And my top receiving target that I wanted for the year got stolen from me about 3 picks before me. So I said, screw it. And I made a financial decision.
Executive order.
And I took Travis Kelce pretty early. I mean, I don't know if that's pretty early. That's still round 3. So last year he was going earlier than that. So I took Travis Kelce with my pick 29 in round 3. And then the flop, I took Stephon Diggs, as I feel he is going to be pretty much a good workhorse over there for CJ Stroud. And
so you picked him up in the 4th.
Opposite Nico Collins. Yeah. It's T Kelce and then Diggs. Kelce in the 3rd, late 3rd, Stephon Diggs early 4. And I know you had something to say about Stephon Diggs being washed up and stuff. Did I take him a little early at early round 4?
So I think we talked, and the episode ain't going to air from last week because we had some mic problems. We're setting up all this new stuff, now that we live next to each other. So we talked a little bit about how that you get not necessarily washed up in a sense or anything like that. I lost my train of thought there for a second. I'm sorry. Not that it's washed up, but you're going to a team that is loaded at the position already. You're going to a team that has young studs there and Tank Dell and Nico Collins. These dudes are machines. You have a good tight end there. And we talked last week, like I said, it's not going to air now that I got my train of thought back, that you get people who draft just because of that name. Like, people are going to draft Ezekiel Elliott because of the name and not to realize that he ain't done shit in 2 years. You talked about quarterbacks or Julio Jones. Julio Jones don't play for nobody no more. But guess what? He's still going to be up there and projected. Same thing with JJ McCarthy. They got him up. You got to pay attention. And I think that you're going to run into a situation here with a lot of people, unless you're in a league who the people pay attention, it's a good league, he's going to go off the board before 4 just because of the name. Stephon Diggs is arguably one of the best in the league over the past couple of years.
He is.
So you're going to get him to go for the name. I think at the 4th, like in our league, I think and this is a good league, I think that's where he'll probably go.
I'll tell you this, 4th. If he was still in Buffalo, he'd already been gone. Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
He was going early 3rd, late 2, if he was still with Josh Allen.
Yes.
So kind of moving through. My next, it took a while to get around. I wanted to get another wide receiver to solidify the position, and what better to get a wide receiver to pair with my quarterback. And I took Zay Flowers as the number 1 wide receiver in Baltimore, was still there, which me and you talked. I really hope that Brandon Ayuk kind of floats over there. And we talked about this last week. Like you said, had a few microphone issues. I think Brandon Ayuk's best fit is in Baltimore, becoming a number 1 over there, not having so much to fight against, and be the free, lay it on out, dive in the end zone, get you a touchdown guy from what Marquise Brown used to be. and is now in Kansas City, which can be very dangerous. I'm hearing Xavier Worthy, the record breaker for the 40 on at the combine, is having a hell of a practice with its new top end quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. I believe that Brandon Ayuk could do very, very well in Baltimore. So
I don't think he's going anywhere. I like the Zay Flowers. I always try to get away from putting three of the same players on the same team. It opens up a lot of problems when it comes to
it
the
does.
bye week.
It does.
It's a good thing and it's a bad thing because you can have it to where, all right, if you set it up right, you only got to deal with 1 or 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
Or in this situation, you might have to deal with it where it is a very important week 15, that your team's in a bye week, and you need that game.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year.
Really need it. Yeah.
So that's more in depth into the later chapters of the book that we're writing that you can go ahead and get into. But I would stay away from that. I like it. I see what you're trying to do here. You think that it's going to be a high powered offense. And when you have it could potentially be where, Derrick Henry does rush for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns this year, and Zay Flowers has 1,300 yards and 6 touchdowns, and Lamar Jackson has 600 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground, and then another 30. Well, right there, if I told you that you could have all 3 of those, I don't give a shit if they're on the same team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's and I love how you broke that down for the viewers here and the subscribers. Which, you guys, YouTube, please subscribe. We love all of you guys, and I want this to start blowing up. I want to help people and everything. I think that Jesse came with a good point there about getting 3 players on the same team. But on the other side, I do think that getting like 2 wide receivers on the same team or 2 running backs is brutal unless it's the backup because of injury issues. I understand, but you got to think Lamar Jackson is going to be running. He's going to be throwing. Okay. Derrick Henry is going to be running the football. He's going to be catching a few of the balls. Somebody's got to catch these passes from Lamar Jackson. Now, Mark Andrews is there. I could have finagled that, but I had already taken Travis Kelce. So I believe I'm okay there. Zay Flowers was my next option. He's going to catch some balls. It's just about how many. We know Lamar Jackson's going to score touchdowns. How many? He's going to rush for 1,300 yards. But how many touchdowns? You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry's going to get his work. But how much? Okay. So that's round 5, Zay Flowers. I kind of moved down. I couldn't believe this running back was here at number 52, but I took David Montgomery at early round number 6, the workhorse in the backfield for Detroit. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs, splitting the load there. Really, and David Montgomery, I believe, down in stretch of the year last year, took that workload around and was the big touchdown workhorse, which is what we really look for, guys. I don't care if a running back runs for 100 yards. If the other one gets 2 touchdowns and 60 yards, he's got more points. Okay. Yeah. 100 yards is only 10 points. That's all it is. A touchdown is 6. Yeah. Okay. Plus the 6 that he got for his 60, you're already at 12. Okay.
It's like the Jamal Williams aspect from 2 years ago with the Lions.
With the Lions. Yeah. Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, and that's going to be the same thing. Swift's going to rush the ball down the field. Montgomery's going to get it in the 10-yard line, and he's going to score
and that's what happened. That's what happened. Now, DeAndre Swift is over in Chicago. And I'll tell you,
with David Montgomery.
We'll leave that. Me and you will discuss the Chicago Green Bay thing another day. That's another deal. Moving on, David Montgomery. I'm going to go through these next few pretty quick. I was able to snag Keenan Allen, round 7, Chicago wide receivers. And then Aaron Jones, Minnesota's new running back. Green Bay's old time man running back there. Round 9, real late. I really wanted this guy. I'm very, very high on him. I hope everybody is. He is the new man in Buffalo. Florida State's own Keenan Coleman. Okay. I'm not a Florida State fan. Jesse absolutely knows that. But dude, this kid, okay. When you go from college to the NFL, I don't give a shit where you played. Okay. Now I'm concerned about what you're going to do for my fantasy team. Okay. I didn't really like him in college because of where he played. Love him now. Absolutely love him. This kid is
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You said it. I mean, yeah, but you're a Florida State guy. I didn't really know him.
Maybe next TO type of guy, man. Just
He's
big
a stud. Hopefully, he doesn't
monster.
have the press that's TO had. But anyway,
No.
being paired with Josh Allen over there, dude, he is going to get so much work because he is the new Stephon Diggs. Yeah, Shakur is over there and a few Dawson Knox and a few guys. But, dude, he is going to be the new Stephon Diggs, and watch out.
So for me, his floor is 10 this year. His floor, his ceiling is potential top 5. He could be that guy.
How many touchdowns do you think he is? Over 10? Catches 10?
I would put the over at 7.
You say 7 and 1,000? Give him a stack and it's 7 tutties.
That's
He'll
what
hit
I'll give him.
1,000 yards and 7 tutties.
Yeah. So
60,
that's
65 catches.
That's probably 10. That's probably 10.
70 catches.
So that would probably put him in 10, 11, 12 range.
Do you think he could have 100 catches, 1,400 yards, and say 12 tutties, like an absolute all-star season? Come on, like that. I mean, if he's the lone target wide receiver out on the outside where Stephon Diggs was, Gabe Davis isn't there anymore. He is all they got. Like, he has got to be. He's got to have a 1,200, an 8-9 touchdown, and an 80 to 90 catch season, bro. He has to be a successful season for me. Does he break the Jamar Chase record, the Justin Jefferson record? No, he don't. I don't think he doesn't do all that. But is he the new explosive man in Buffalo? Absolutely. And me drafting him at 9 should show you guys a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think Stephon Diggs, that we said is a little older and everything now. I mean, he went 1,200 yards last year, 8 tutties. So why can't Keon Coleman do that?
I'm telling you, bro. He's got to. He's the replacement. So if he needs to produce the exact number.
And guys, there's somebody that we just told you right there who is going to be a legit the instant number 1. Instant number 1.
Yeah, and I bet you guys are gonna walk right by him because you don't know who.
And there might be a lot of, in our league they won't be, but there's gonna be a lot of leagues where that dude is still on the fucking waiver at the end of the draft.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying.
So do your research, and then what? At 8, you got Aaron Jones.
Yes, sir.
At round 8.
Yes,
there's guys, another key starter workhorse running back that's gonna get all the work there, going at 8.
And I didn't waste early picks on him. I wait and I sat, I wait. And they're there.
That's your best. Those are your 2 best picks of that draft.
And then I went early because I love getting the best ones. And I go early faster than everybody, and they all hate it. But I took the Browns in round 10, the Browns defense, that top of the line, absolute animal defense at round 10. And then took a while. Round 11, I got Gus Edwards, another number 1 starter for a brand new team in Los Angeles with a new coach, a new kind of offense. Justin Herbert's fresh on that contract, bro. They got some brand new guys out there sitting there. I mean, Tajay Spears went right before me. Come on. Who's drafting Tajay Spears, dude?
I think Tajay Spears, though, is going to
Okay, Raheem Mostert went 2 before that. Zach Moss went right before that. Javonte Williams and Brian Robinson Jr. went just before that. You're going to tell me those are better options than Gus Edwards, a number 1 who's going to start for an electrifying offense, going to take over what Austin Eckler was doing. Do people not see stuff like this? Austin Eckler was scored 16 touchdowns a season.
Yeah, but Tajay Spears is going to be the workhorse at
in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
In Tennessee. Well, I'm in the AFC South. Come on.
All right.
Bro, Tennessee's washed. Who do you know who's throwing the football out there? Will
Yeah,
Levis.
Will Levis.
Oh, come on.
Will Levis with the crevice, bro. That man could
Levis
launch
with the
that ball.
crevice. Get out of here. Wait, Gus
Hey, I
Edwards.
want to go back to one of your picks real quick. You said the defense. Guys, pay attention to your leagues though real quick, because some leagues, like our league, defenses can score a lot of points.
The
And you
Browns
get
defense scored. They were the 35th best scoring
option.
option thing last year in the
There
NFL.
you
So
go.
you're gonna tell
And-
come on, do the math, guys. Do the
And then
math.
and I'll tell you this much. I play in one league where defenses are like top 10.
They're scoring 100, they're scoring 40 points a week.
Yes.
Go
So
on.
dude, pay attention. Because
Pay attention.
you don't want to get a defense that is, say, like the Chargers defense, where they're gonna give up 27 points a game.
Dude, I couldn't believe
that's
it.
another thing to look at. Like the Chargers defense. I mean, Harbaugh's there now, so it might be a little different. But like
it ain't gonna be no different.
yeah, but like last year, they were so horrible that the offense had to put up 27 points or they're losing.
Derwin James is awesome, but he ain't all of it, bro.
They lost.
Gus Edwards, and then round 12, I was able to get possibly Patrick Mahomes' brand new long ball target and
Xavier
Marquise
Worthy?
Brown. No, Marquise
Oh my
Brown.
God.
Xavier Worthy, I don't think got drafted. It's crazy. I'm telling you, this is why I'm drafting early. I'm drafting, so I'm watching trends. I'm watching things happen, so I know. Marquise Brown, round 12. Round 13. I'm biased and I love Matt Gay, so I went and got my kicker really early. Like I said, I love doing things really early, get it out of the way. I get who I want. I like doing it, and I don't think it's bad. If you like kickers and defenses, it is what it is. If you like somebody, go get them, dude. Don't be so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, well, kickers are kickers, man. Matt Gay will get you 10 points. He'll get you 2. He'll get you
Good.
14. But every kicker does that. I mean, unless Justin Tucker and Butker and what's his name, Brandon Aubrey are still sitting there. Who cares?
And also, too, you don't even got to think of like, a super accurate long kicker like a Justin Tucker, where they're going to put him out for a C3.
Yeah,
You got to think of just a team who's going to go kicks a lot. Like the Detroit Lions. I mean, they score a lot of points. They get in the red zone a lot. The Colts, we
screw up in the red zone a ton.
Yeah,
bro.
they're going
Our
to be.
kickers.
Yeah, and if you get a kicker who kicks 3 field goals and 2 extra points, I mean, what do you got? 11 points right there out of your kicker.
Yeah. Went to kicker round 13. You guys can shoot me if you want. I don't care. I'll be smacking you guys around. Round 14. This is where it kind of gets to you. So like everybody needs to figure out how to get
auto draft now.
Yeah, everybody likes to auto draft. I don't auto draft at all. That's stupid to me. Okay. I went quick and I got my backup quarterback, so I knew I was set. Deshaun Watson. Round 14.
How many? 10 people in the league?
Yeah. I lied. Xavier Worthy did get drafted 140th. Round 14. I had to wait. I went and got my backup tight end. Pat Fryermuth. I love the Moose. Up there in Pittsburgh. I just think he hasn't blossomed out yet. That guy's
good out. Yeah, good outlet player.
Oh man, amazing. I went and got your boy. We've been talking about him. I told you about him. You told me about him. I told you he was going to be great. I ended up getting Romeo Dobbs at round 16, 152nd. Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. Cameron, the Dicker kicker, went right before that. So,
wow.
Aaron Rodgers went 2 picks later. Then the Dolphins defense. Okay, moving on. Okay, it's not letting me move on. Oh, maybe I was done.
Yeah, 17.
Yep, that's it. So that is my football team there, sir. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery. Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Travis Kelce, Keenan Allen, the Browns defense, Matt Gay, Aaron Jones, Keenan Coleman, Gus Edwards, Marquise Brown, Deshaun Watson, Pat Fryermuth, and Romeo Dobbs with the last pick of my draft, dude. Love it, hate it.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you sit back and you look at there's big names on that. I mean, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, those might be some good picks right there. And I think
they
that
gave me a C- for my draft.
I think they gave you C- because the way you picked them.
Whoops. It's okay.
I mean,
we'll see who's a C- at the end of the year. Bro.
Like, when was the next quarterback to come off the board? What round?
After what? After I first.
Yeah.
After I first picked one, the end of round 2, Jalen Hurts, and then C.J. Stroud, and then Josh Allen. Patrick,
When did Josh win? What round?
4.
4.
Patrick and Josh went in 4.
See, in a 2 quarterback league, you ain't waiting that long to get them guys. You
No, bro, they're gone.
Go.
They're gone. Joe Burrow went 5. Anthony Richardson went in 6. Dak went in 7. Jordan Love went in 7.
Huh.
Nobody
Like I said,
in
dude,
8.
like, I mean,
and then Brock Purdy.
That's crazy. And then, like, you could, you do that, and then you said Aaron Jones and Montgomery and these guys are
They're still
going in
there.
7s and 8s. It's like,
I
dude,
told
you
you.
can still get
in a
the
10
the
quarterback
talent.
in a 10
Where'd Josh Jacobs go?
Josh Jacobs. Let's look for him. Josh Jacobs. Looks like I'm down to. There's Josh Allen. Round 3, mid-round.
That was the first Packer to go off the board, I take it.
I would imagine so, yeah. Sam Laporta was the first tight end to go.
Where did Dontavian Wicks go? No way.
Here, let me scroll for a while. I don't see a. Who did you say that was?
Dontavian Wicks? Is he not? Did he not tell me he's on the waiver? Go get his ass now.
I'm gonna go look on the waiver. Watch this. Yeah, I bet he is on the waiver, boy.
You better get that, man.
Wide receivers. You ready for the waiver wire?
Yeah.
Wide receivers on the waiver wire right now. Mike Williams, Curtis Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Demario Douglas, Gabe Davis, Kendrick Bourne, Raheed Shaheed, Brandon Cooks. All these guys that don't even play. The Shakir guy is on
Tupac Shakir?
Yeah, Tupac. Josh Downs, Joshua Palmer, Jahan Dotson, Xavier Leggett, and Donnie Mitchell. Rashad
I
Bateman.
think Xavier Leggett is going to be a very good, viable option. I think that's going to be a good.
I found him, bro. Dontavian Wicks.
You better pick that.
Way down.
Better pick that. You better pick that boy up
way down here, bro. They project him at 5.1 points per game. Let's see. I ain't got no room for him, pimp.
Bro.
Okay.
That's going to be Jordan Love's number 1 option this year.
Okay. Tell me who I swap him with. Do I take out Dobbs and push him? I'm not going to have 2 Green Bay wide receivers on my bench. You know what I mean?
Oh, you already got Romeo Dobbs. That's right.
Yeah.
Man, I would drop Dobbs and put him in a heartbeat, bro.
You really think Dontavian Wicks is going to blow up? Because I said it was Jaden Reed. That's who I thought was going to blow up for him.
Dontavian Wicks is going to be the.
And last year, I believe I was quoted saying Dontavian Wicks, or I don't know which one it was, but I said last year one of them was going to be absolutely an animal and be Jordan Love's number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Romeo Dobbs had 8 touchdowns last year, so that's pretty good. But Dontavian Wicks and he played the last 11 games of the year.
581 yards, 4 tutties.
Yeah.
119 points in 8 games. That's not bad. That's not too bad.
No.
That's about 11 and a half, 12 points a game.
I forgot. Romeo Dobbs is definitely Green Bay's red zone threat.
Jaden Reed
go
is
up
the
and
big
get the
ball.
I mean, I
Well,
think Dontavian Wicks is
Christian Watson. Where the hell is he at?
See, and this is a crazy thing, but we're talking about
Got
Green Bay
all
right
these
now.
wide
Like they got
receivers,
those
all these
weapons.
wide receivers. Like
Yeah,
Christian Watson.
Dontavian Wicks is the cleanest route runner in the league. Fuck everybody else. I promise you that. Look at his
on the
tape.
wire. Running backs on the wire. Jerome Ford, Donta Foreman, Samaje P. Ryan, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Madison, Justice Hill. Man.
I
Quarterback's still
think
on the wire. Mayfield, Smith, Jones, Goff, Stafford, Darnold, Wilson, Lawrence, Cousins, Derek Carr. There he is, Will Levis.
that's one quarterback league, though. That won't happen in a dual quarterback. All the quarterbacks will be gone.
Yeah, they're all gone. They're all gone. Tight ends left on the wire, and then we'll get out of here for the day. Dalton Schultz, Conklin, Johnny Munt, which Johnny Munt's going to start in place of TJ Hawkinson for the first few weeks of the season. Okay, just to let you know.
There you go.
There you go, guys. There's a little tip for you right there. If you drafted TJ Hawkinson, I drafted.
Was Bo Nix still on the quarterback waiver wire?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, your boy Juwan Johnson, Cade Otton, Hunter Henry, Taysom Hill, Luke Musgrave. No, he's. Oh my gosh, he is here, man. I gotta. That guy's got hands.
I gotta go get him.
That guy's got hands, bro.
Because now that they know what he is,
now they know he can catch
two tight end package. Boy, it's gonna be nasty.
Defenses left on the wire: Bengals, Vikings, Buccaneers, Giants, Chargers, Bills, Houston Falcons. All kinds of good stuff, guys. Hey, I want to thank you so much for today. It has been an absolute blast. We'll have this up tonight. You guys are going to see this here in a little bit. Love all of you guys. Click subscribe. Bushy Tail Sports. We're here and out, baby.
Anabolic Beats.